Yo, yo, what it is, what it is, what it is. Welcome back to another Wise Tale, y'all. Check this out. Alright, as I told y'all before, you know what I'm saying, there are plenty of stories of what happened to me out in Iraq, right? But this one particular story I'm going to put out there is because, you know, as I stated before, there were certain things that were going on in Iraq and whatnot that, you know, some people would say spare the moment type stuff, but enjoyable stuff, right? So, you know, through another tale and whatnot, I, you know, talked about like the salsa night and whatnot. Now I'm going to talk about what happened on a night with one of the hip hop nights, right? So, you know, what was going on was the fact that, you know, I hooked up with Jay, I hooked up with my boy Severe, right? So, once in a while and whatnot, you know, I would lab with them, and, you know, I would say my crump was okay, wasn't, you know, really adequate. It was probably, you know, I want to say, while everybody else was on the new era stuff, me and my people were probably on the Golden Series stuff, you know what I'm saying, still on that. We hadn't actually leveled up to the new era yet. Well, I'm going to keep it truthful. Severe, my boy Severe, he was on the new era. Me and my boy Jay were probably still on, you know, the Golden Series and whatnot. But anyway, so at this particular time, you know, we're over at Camp Stryker. And over at Camp Stryker, right, it was actually interesting is because literally when it came to crump, us three were the top dogs. And, you know, even though my roommate, you know, a.k.a. Mr. Funny, you know, he was, you know, a crumper / clown and whatnot, but he barely ever danced and whatnot. I gave him his respects and whatnot, but for the most part, you know, me, Jay, and Severe, we were like the top dogs in crump, you know, for Camp Stryker and whatnot. Well, you know, on one of those spare nights that they had, the hip-hop night and whatnot, they set up a competition. So I was like, alright. Jay, he didn't want to in on the competition and whatnot because he was more so focused on his rapping and whatnot. Couldn't knock the man for it. I really didn't hear his material, but, you know, I hoped him and wished him the best on that. Severe, he wanted to be like more low-key with his crump and whatnot, and I can understand that, you know, now, because back then, you know, I wasn't really schooled up on like the elements and whatnot. So, you know, now that I know, you know, through the information from Rapture and whatnot, you know, I can understand where he was coming from more so. But at that time, you know, me, I was always looking for maybe a battle or event, you know, not to gain just experience, but muscle memory, is because, you know, back when I was in Iraq and when I started, you know, actually taking up crump dancing and trying to do it on a professional level and whatnot, you know, I was actually, you know, not just trying things out, but, you know, just trying to, you know, gain that muscle memory to say, hey, you know, if you're going to throw an arm swing, you know, it's got to be done, you know, in a certain particular way. Well, anyway, so they had this competition that they were having during the hip-hop night. And I already expected, you know, you're going to have your b-boyers there, you're going to have some pop lockers there, you're going to have some contemporary dancers there and whatnot. But, you know, me, I was probably, yeah, I was the only crumper, the only real crumper that was, you know, in this competition. So already before the competition, you know, it was about to happen and whatnot, you know, people were coming in and whatnot, and then next thing I know, you know, even my roommate, Mr. Funny, showed up and whatnot, and even Jay and Severe, you know, they posted up on the side. Me, I was trying to gear myself up for this competition, because I wanted to take it a little seriously, you know, because I never had a competition where I was in, you know, doing crumping and whatnot, so I took it a little bit too seriously. So I'm gearing up for the competition, trying some new things. Like, I was trying to build my power level and my emotion level. And sometimes you gotta be careful when you do that, is because, you know, if you think the wrong things, the wrong type of intention, the wrong type of persona will come out. So me, I was actually at that time thinking the wrong thing, you know, basically making myself angry off of my memories. The heck? Oh, that's what's up. But anyway, so what ended up happening, right, was the fact that, I'm getting ready to have this competition, and, people are looking at me. I'm looking down at the ground. I'm sitting here like, okay. Okay. Well, people who know me and whatnot know on a regular basis I'm more relaxed than anything. So they saw the serious side of me, and they were like, I don't know if you should mess with this dude or whatever whatnot. But they started messing with me and antagonizing me. So they're antagonizing me and whatnot, and I popped off. I just started getting off because it just emotionally, it just caught me at the right moment to just get off. And even before the competition started and whatnot, I'm getting off, and literally a lot of stuff that I was doing was making sense. Like Severe, he stopped what he was doing and looked dead at me, and he was like, wow. Because last time he had seen that is when me and him battled. And honestly, that's when that came off of me one rounding him. But, I just popped off, got off real quick. I'm sitting there like, dang, I just exhausted my thought process, before the competition even happened. So automatically I'm sitting there like, oh man, I'm about to lose this competition. I didn't tell nobody, but at the same time I'm sitting there like, dang man, get yourself prepared, get yourself ready, whatever. So the competition happens. First problem of the competition was the fact that the DJ did not have a clue what to play. If you're going to have any type of competition, alright, the DJ, first off, has to be fair. The reason why I say this is because if the DJ isn't fair and he's playing wrong music, like me, I laugh off of usually any type of music. I don't care if it's old school, new school, freaking, if it's jazz, if it's rock, if it's a song I'm feeling, regardless of what type of genre it is, then I'm a lab off of it. Well, this dude was playing, like, how can I put it? Like, during my first round, during the competition, right? Tell me why I'm listening to T-Pain's, Apple Bottom song, battling this dude. And me and this dude looked at each other and were like, I mean, literally, the DJ was messing up the entire competition. I mean, even the dude that won the competition, he even looked and was like, seriously, you need to stop. You ain't playing the right music. So, my first round comes in. I did pretty decent and whatnot. I had, battled a pop locker and whatnot. And, the pop locker, he was having difficulty because he couldn't catch the beat. He couldn't ride the beat whatsoever because it was the wrong music. I mean, that first song, the Apple Bottom song, we're battling to it, and we're both sitting here like, man, this ain't the type of, no. Especially at the particular time, things were more so, like, a little bit rougher with the music and whatnot. Like, case in point, why, as an example, why are we battling to T-Pain's Apple Bottom Jeans when you would have something like Chameleon's Riding Dirty out? You know what I'm saying? Why are you going to battle with different personas like that? But anyway, I won my first round, got to the second round, battled another pop locker. Honestly, skill-wise, I slacked off. And dude, he couldn't feel the beat either, but he pulled the win over me. So, second round I ended up getting knocked out of there. And then the thing is though, this particular competition happened right after, I want to say, Step Up 2 had come out. So, everybody knows, oh boy, in the beginning, as he, comes out, battles, the girl and whatnot, and then he, hangs on to the overhang and comes out his shirt. Dude did the same thing. Who won the competition? He did the same thing, except he did it inside a tent. And I'm sitting there like, wow, you you're gonna copy a movie and you're gonna put it out there. So he won the competition, and I already figured that people were gonna start gunning for this dude. Me, I wasn't gonna gun after this dude anyway, because it's seriously, he was a good dancer, but he was extremely cocky. I mean, he was too cocky for his own good. So I want to say probably maybe a week or so passed and whatever whatnot, and they had another hip hop night. It was like one of the last ones. So I go out to this hip hop night, and my roommate, Mr. Funny, he comes out too. Now, at the time, he was kind of sick, so he was like, I'm going to go out there, I'm just going to, bop for a little minute, and then I'm just going to leave it alone. He was just going to go back, get some rest, whatever and whatnot. Me, I was paying attention to him the whole entire time, because, even with him bopping around, he wasn't feeling right. So, next thing you know, you got the dude who won the competition, and two of his boys, right, they come up in there. And once again, just because, cocky people do certain things, they mouthing on talking about, oh, they boy, is the top dog and whatever and whatnot, everybody bow down or whatever whatnot. So one of his boys, comes up to Mr. Funny and whatnot, and he's, mouthing off and whatnot. So Mr. Funny was like, bump this, I'm going to battle you. So when he's battling this dude and whatnot, which he actually held his own, even though he was extremely sick. I mean, we're talking about while he's getting off, he's chest popping, and in the process of chest popping, he's coming this close to throwing up. And I'm watching this the entire time. They gang up on him. So we're talking about, it's a 3-on-1 battle. And we got my boy, he's sick, and, I want to say, I let it go about 2 rounds. I let it go about 2 rounds and whatnot. And, the guy who won the competition, he barely danced and whatnot. But his 2 boys, Mr. Funny smashed them. And then, right after Mr. Funny's second round, I came up to him and I was like, dude, leave. Go ahead and leave. You're not feeling right. I see that you like 2 seconds about to throw up on the floor and whatnot. Go ahead and leave. I'll finish your battle for you. So he was like, all right, thanks, dude. I'm gonna roll out. Then I came up. Already, the 2 boys and whatnot, they were sitting there like, oh, this dude ain't nothing, whatever, whatnot. Well, one thing that is a known fact about me, I'm always in the lab. Some people, will refer, those who personally know me will refer me as one of those people that got like 1,000 moves, even though there is certain chances and certain times that I can repeat certain moves, but my major material, like my kill-offs, my major combos and whatnot, I do not repeat those. I do not repeat those, and you can tell within the footage I don't repeat those. So I get up in there, right, and I start battling. I ripped both them dudes in less than a minute. And I'm sitting there like, alright, I'm ready to get this, I'm ready to get the guy who won the competition. Dude from the competition, he was like, nah, man, I'm good. You got it. You got it. I mean, he basically bowed down to me and whatever and whatnot. And I'm sitting there like, nah, man, you and your boys popped off all that noise. Come get it. And literally, I had the dude so shook because I was on my next level of material and whatnot that this dude was sitting there like, nah, because usually, guys that go into these competitions, that are not major, but, they come across with the same type of material where it's like, bottom line, they're trying to work the crowd. They work antics and taunts into their material and whatnot, but they have no solid material to say that, hey, they're actually expressing as a dancer and whatnot. So after that competition and whatnot, me and Mr. Funny, became more so cool and whatnot, and I got my respect up through that is because, at that particular time, a lot of people, they had seen me dance and whatnot, and they seen me dance crazy, but they never saw me actually dance in a focused type manner, in a controlled type manner. And literally, regardless of, whether I was agitated or whatever whatnot, I had a good time. Everybody had a good time and whatnot. And Granted, some people got embarrassed and whatnot, but I mean, embarrassment happens to everybody. I mean, I don't care how long you've been a professional dancer. Everybody has had several embarrassing moments, and it's just what you do to recover after that. You know, do you take it to the next level, or you just consider yourself one of those people that, well, I might as well just humble myself and just stay within the realm. Well, me, I'm about forward movement, and that's how it went down. But you know what I'm saying? Luckily, you know what I'm saying, it was an interesting time to battle other forms of dances and whatnot and see where I was in Crump. But I mean, that's how it was at Camp Striker, man. I mean, we just kept going after each other. But y'all, thank y'all for sitting in for another Wise Tale and whatnot. Got plenty more coming and whatnot. But you know, y'all be patient, because you know, these stories, even though I'm telling you these stories and whatnot, remember, each one of them are true stories. This is not me embellishing nothing, okay? I have no reason to prove anything to anybody. This is like bottom line, truthful stuff. Well, anyway, till next light, y'all. 1.